So we just got up here to Denver. We are headed down to Steamboat, and then we're headed down to Craig. This is my first time in Colorado. Super excited as always, and ready to get on these pronghorn. This has been a hunt that I've wanted for a long time, so glad it's actually going to be a reality.
So we're pulling into Craig, Colorado. Been a long day of travel. Started at 5 o'clock this morning, leaving Houston. A little bit of flight delays and everything else, but we're finally here at 6:30 in the evening. Going to be hunting with S&D Outfitters. Had this trip planned for almost about 2 years now. It's Adam and I on the wheel. We've got a couple pronghorn tags, and it's just something we've never done on the show before. And it's great country. We're excited to be here. We're about 2 miles from camp. Hopefully first thing tomorrow morning we'll be on some big goats and put a couple on the ground and head back to Denver, hit Houston, and kick off season 10.
This segment's brought to you by Element Outdoors, where technology meets comfort. This segment's brought to you by Element Outdoors, where technology meets comfort.
We're only 20 minutes into the hunt. We're already seeing animals. And in about 700 yards, we spot a nice little herd of goats. There's some cows, obviously, in the foreground. But we're in the spotting scopes now, trying to size them up, see if they're big enough for us to make a plan and get up there and hopefully get a shot on one. I mean, he's pretty, but if he's just not big enough, he's not big enough.
He's probably an average buck here. Maybe a touch bigger than average.
Well, we got time, right? I mean, yeah, we're 20 minutes into the hunt, and we've got glass on mid-70s. Yeah, we're just debating whether or not we want to go after him or not. You know, both Adam and I have tags. Just trying to formulate a plan. You know, the guys are telling us that he's probably not big enough to go after this early in the hunt. Might prove to regret it, but we'll see. So we moved to a different part of the ranch, and we're seeing the same herd that we saw this morning, but we're still way early in the hunt. It's only about 8:30 in the morning. But we're gonna stop and glass until we find the one that we're looking for. There's the antelope all over here, so it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So we spotted this group over here. There's one good shooter in there. So 3 or 4 of them broke off over here, so he's chasing these ladies. These guys are in full rut, so he's not really concerned about us. He's only concerned about these ladies. So we're just he's headed this direction. We're trying to come up with a game plan of how we can get out in front of him and get a shot. But he's definitely what we're looking for. He's got size, mass, length, character. He meets our age group we're looking for. So hopefully we'll make something happen here soon.
Let me know.
This segment's brought to you by Orange Corn Company, your ultimate wildlife attractant. This segment's brought to you by Reveal Cellular Trail Cameras, with data plans starting as low as $5 a month.
Well, this is exactly what we came out here for. This guy is older, he's mature, he's long, he's got some curls to him, he's got some mass. Man, this guy is absolutely amazing. I've always wanted to shoot one of these guys for a long time. Just a bucket list animal for sure. Just absolutely gorgeous, you know. Never hunted Colorado or this part of the world in general, and I just couldn't be more excited. You know, the Christensen Arms absolutely hammered him. We're shooting the 7 PRC and absolutely love it. So couldn't be more thankful to be part of the No Limits team. Thanks to SD Outfitters for putting on this magnificent animal. Just the hospitality, the lodgings, accommodations, just quality people to deal with.
It's our second morning here at SD Outfitters in Craig, Colorado. We had a wonderful day yesterday. Got Adam on a great speed goat. It's the first one he's ever been able to take. And we just got to explore this magnificent country these guys have to offer here. So we're heading back out today. We saw a bunch yesterday afternoon, just couldn't get the drop on them, and we're hopeful this morning by, let's call it 8:30. We're going on the board at 8:30. I'm going to have one down. So we got about an hour to make that happen. I'm looking at John and Nate. They said we can do it. So we're going to hop in the buggy, head out, and see if we can't get this thing done.
That's right where we saw those 3 bucks, Jason.
Yeah, see the steam coming out of it.
So we spotted a goat at about 800 yards. His horns, instead of going traditional up, are kicking way forward. So we pulled the buggy around. We're gonna try to ease down this little draw, keep the elevation between us and him. He was picking us off where we were up, you know, on that vantage point. So they're real curious as to what we're doing. We're just, like I said, going to ease down in this little draw. There's actually a shooting house that they use for their muley hunts. We're going to try to sneak to it and see if we can't get an angle on them. So we spotted the buck that we were looking for. Like I said, it's the one that curls forward. We moved the buggy around, got up to the shooting house, worked our way down probably, I don't know, probably 600 yards to this vantage point, and just kept working down, started to crawl in. just so that we could get a better look through the grass to get prone and take a shot at probably 400 yards. And the doe and the fawn that we saw that was with that buck just ran off to our left with another buck. So we're trying to get eyes back on the buck that we're looking for, or target, if you will. But it's the last day of our hunt. I'm not going to be overly picky. But seeing that guy through the spotting scope, he's really the one that we want to go after. So we're going to just be patient, glass up a little bit. You know, it's still early in the hunts. Call it 8:20, so we've got 10 minutes to make this thing happen. But we're trying.
This segment's brought to you by Element Outdoors, where technology meets comfort. This segment's brought to you by Reveal Cellular Trail Cameras, with data plans starting as low as $5 a month. Experience the ultimate hunting adventure with SD Outfitters. Whether it's trophy deer, elk, mule deer, or antelope, they've got you covered in Utah and Colorado. Book your unforgettable journey today at sdoutfitter.com and let them know that No Limits Hunting sent you.
So it's the last afternoon of our hunt. We've been running all day, and after a lot of traffic the way yesterday, it just kind of slowed down a little bit. But it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. We just came off having lunch, and we're looking up in this ridgeline. There's about, a dozen or so goats at about 600 yards. So we're going to work up this little berm right here, try to get a better vantage point, get the spotting scopes out, and see if there's one big enough in there for us to take a swing at.
So as you guys saw, we were creeping up this bank. We had the herd antelope, they call it 440 yards. The range was always changing. And we've got a whole gaggle of people with us, camera guys, guides, etc. And as Nate and I and Adam were crawling up, John behind whistled because the buck that we were after, he actually circled around us and started charging Kyle, who's got a white shirt on, which lo and behold, we didn't know. Antelope in the rut apparently like white shirts. So he closed the distance from 440 to 118 yards in about 10 seconds. We didn't even know that he was there until John alerted us to him. And I got up on my knees, adjusted that loophole turret and put it right on his front shoulder and squeezed it. And I think just with the adrenaline, I hit him a little bit low, blew out that far side leg, and then we saw him go up over this ridge here. And in doing that, we formulated a plan. We had one group that went on the blood trail. We were going to obviously flank him on this other side. And we came in, he was bedded up. John spotted him, he popped right up, and I just free-handed him in another 100 yards and plugged him and dropped him, and he went 10 steps and expired. So couldn't be any happier. You know, it's the last day of our hunt here with SD Outfitters. These guys are a first-class operation. It's our first time hunting with them, and I can tell you we'll be back for years to come. John Wayne style right there. Thanks, bud. Appreciate the hard work. This is a culmination of a great couple days here in Craig, Colorado with our new friends at SD Outfitters. It's our first time hunting with these guys, and Adam and I are more than impressed. And like I said up on the mountain a couple minutes ago, we're going to be coming back here for years and years. You know, they've got antelope, mule deer, elk. If you're a Western hunter, you got to check them out. But, you know, for Adam and I, this is our first time doing antelope together. A lot of people don't know. Antelope was my first big game species 22 years ago with a good friend of mine who's no longer with us. So this one's for you, Greg.